Spokane County ripped apart by devastating wildfires. Flames raced through communities, devouring homes and lives. Tonight, those who escaped are talking to KREM 2.
As I looked straight across and saw the flames.
And while many raced to get out, leaving everything behind, others have already stepped up to help their neighbors.
I don't want to sugarcoat this. These families are going to have some hard days ahead.
Tonight, thousands of acres have burned, more than 200 homes burned to the ground, and thousands of people still displaced in Spokane County tonight. Thank you for being here on KREM 2 News at 4. I'm Whitney Ward. As we come on the air tonight, we have learned some of the level 3 evacuations have now been downgraded in Medical Lake. So take a look. We are continuing our coverage now on 2 of those destructive wildfires still burning out of control within a 35-mile radius of Spokane itself. The Gray Fire in Medical Lake and the Oregon Road Fire in Elk both began on Friday afternoon. Over the weekend, Washington Governor Jay Inslee declared a state of emergency in the entire state. Hundreds of people have now lost their homes. Hundreds more haven't even been able to return to whatever is left. So far, the Oregon Road Fire has burned more than 10,000 acres. It is still 0% contained right now, and it has claimed more than 80 homes. In the meantime, the Gray Fire near Medical Lake has claimed 185 homes. It is still burning out of control as well, and it has burned nearly 10,000 acres as of tonight, only 10% contained right now. Tonight, we are bringing you KREM 2 team coverage from across the county. KREM 2's Amanda Rowley, Shannon Mowdy, they are both out live today talking to those affected by these fires. First, though, we want to go straight to KREM 2's Mark Hanrahan, who is now hosting the KREM Cares Help to Northwest Telethon taking place at KSPS, our local PBS station. So, Mark, how's it going out there?
Hey, Whitney, good afternoon to you. You just mentioned it, hoping to raise money through our KREM Cares Help the Northwest campaign. I'm standing here in the KSPS studios just across the street from KREM 2, hoping to raise money for the local chapter of the American Red Cross. As we have seen the last few days, when disaster strikes our community, the Red Cross is there to respond. With the Gray Fire, they set up that emergency shelter at Spokane Falls Community College. The Oregon Road Fire up north, they jumped in and set up that shelter at Riverside High School to help meet those immediate needs for people, to give them a place to stay and a warm meal to eat. But here's the fact of the matter, this stuff doesn't happen for free. It costs money, and that's why tonight we are holding this fundraiser to help raise some money for the local chapter of the American Red Cross. We've made it easy for you to donate if you're willing to do that. For the next 3 hours from 4 to 7 tonight, if you can call in, the number is 1-844-411-8811 and make a donation. It would be much appreciated. The money donated locally stays with the local chapter of the American Red Cross. If you're not comfortable making that donation over the phone, just text us the word HELP, H-E-L-P, to 1-509-448-2000, and we'll send a link directly to your phone so you can make a donation online. Again, we'll be here for the next 3 hours. We have these volunteer call takers behind me ready to answer your calls and hopefully your donations. We'll check back in with you guys throughout our broadcast to let you know how it's going. But for now, Whitney, we'll send things back to you.
All right, Mark, thank you very much. Also tonight, we are learning more about the man who died in the Gray Fire. Tonight, we are talking to those who knew him. 86-year-old Carl Grubb was one of the founders of the Jensen Memorial Youth Ranch. And that is where we find our chief journalist, Amanda Rowley, tonight, who spoke with people who saw his impact on the community firsthand. Amanda?
Yeah, Whitney, I am here at the Jensen Memorial Youth Ranch. I just got a tour with some of those founders this afternoon. Now, at the heart of this ranch is a man who family and friends say has the biggest heart, and that's Carl Grubb. They're telling me today that his death is putting a huge hole in the community. Now, those that knew and loved Carl say he taught hundreds of kids here at the ranch, teaching them how to raise livestock at the ranch for FFA, Junior Livestock Show, and 4-H. Carl had a passion for teaching kids about agriculture and supporting them in that journey. This is the legacy that he is leaving behind. Some call him their hero, others a close friend or mentor. In fact, just this year, the Junior Livestock Show dedicated their benefit in February and Livestock Show in May to Carl. Take a listen.
In typical Carl fashion, he did not like to be recognized for his work. He was a very quiet man, but when he spoke, you listen because his words had substance and they had meaning.
I don't know what type of person I would have been if I wouldn't have had the opportunities that Craig and Carl both provided for us.
I've got hundreds of hours in these corrals working cows with him. If you never knew Carl Grubb anyplace else, you learned in the corral that you better do it his way.
Heard a lot of sweet, funny, and just touching stories about Carl today. I spoke with several other people who you haven't quite heard from yet, but many of them, they say they're deeply saddened by this loss, but they are hoping to do their part in continuing his legacy here at the ranch. Amanda Rowley, KREM 2 News.
All right, Amanda, thank you very much. In the meantime, as the Oregon road fire continues to burn and those evacuation orders remain in place, many people are turning to a local church as a place of refuge. KREM 2's Shannon Mowdy is at that church in Elk tonight. Shannon, what is happening there?
Well, Whitney, the Country Church of the Open Bible has transformed over the weekend from place of worship to 24/7 emergency center. And now the church opened its doors Friday night after the Oregon Road fire broke out. Some church members turned here for help, and since then it's just naturally kind of progressed, and the doors haven't closed. They're open for anyone needing shelter or supplies. The church is also providing a hot dinner every night at 5:30, cooked up by a kitchen full of community volunteers.
Last night we served between 75 and 100 people. Tonight we're thinking between 100 and 125. And for the next few nights we'll probably incrementally go up in what we serve.
The pastor of this church says they will be open, have their doors open for as long as people need them here. But some good news, we have heard and seen some aircraft flying into the fire zone, which is just right in front of me here, and that is inspiring some hope here in Elk. Shannon Mowdy, KREM 2 News.
All right, Shannon, thank you very much. Also some good news this afternoon, I-90 completely reopened in both directions. So drivers no longer needing to take those detours between Tyler and Four Lakes. We do want to show you, though, what crews have been dealing with along I-90 over the last several days. It was a lot of this, flames coming right up to the side of the highway. WSDOT crews from all across the state are now working alongside the hotshot crews to try and remove dangerous trees from right along I-90. There is also still very heavy smoke in some areas as the Gray Fire, of course, continues to burn. And we want to talk about that smoke a little bit. We want to talk about the forecast. We know that it may be turning in favor of fire crews, but the smoke's still lingering right now. Chief Meteorologist Jeremy Legoo is keeping track of all of that for us tonight.
Yeah, we are expecting to see a little bit of a turn in terms of wind and air quality here as we move through the next day or so. Right now we sit in the 70s, but wind out of the south at 8 miles per hour has been pretty persistent. And what that's doing is starting to clean out some of the air. Believe it or not, most of our smoke comes from wildfires that are burning in Canada. We have seen some additional smoke from local fires, but overall, we're looking at our air quality alerts remaining in place for a lack of movement in the atmosphere. Our air quality right now sits at a 178. It did start very unhealthy today, but it is improving. And tomorrow will likely be unhealthy at times, but that slow, steady improvement takes us through the next couple of days. The southerly flow pushes a lot of that smoke back off to the north, but with just so much of that smoke around, it is going to be incredibly difficult to get rid of all of it. Eventually, we do start to see a turn for the cleaner air, but that takes a little bit. In addition to the smoke, we have the potential for some heavy rain from what was Tropical Storm Hillary, now a remnant low, and as that remnant low works its way in, some widespread rain from Lewiston up through the mountains of North Idaho. We will eventually see some of that try to work its way over toward us. I don't think we get it in eastern Washington until tomorrow, but it does look like it starts in the morning and is pretty persistent throughout much of the day, eventually moving out and drying out by Wednesday, but it does look like Wednesday offers us a little more wind ahead of yet another change in the weather patterns. So the next few days look as follows. Tomorrow, smoky, but rain returns. Wind picks up and we will see some blue skies and sunshine, but that breeze on Wednesday will be about 20 to 25 miles per hour out of the southwest, a stark difference from where we've been the past few days.
All right, Jeremy, thank you. And the images out of Medical Lake and Elk have shocked the entire Northwest. People have been moved into action to try and help those who are now impacted. We want to go back to KREM 2's Mark Hanrahan, who is hosting the KREM Cares Help to Northwest Telethon out at KSPS, our local PBS station. Mark, once again, how is it going tonight?
Whitney, it is going well, as you mentioned, standing here in the studio, hoping to raise money for the local chapter of the American Red Cross, who, as we know, is the agency that does respond when disaster strikes. We have seen that in our community on Friday and throughout the weekend with these two large wildfires. We have Yvette with the Coeur d'Alene Casino joining us right here, and you're here to make a donation, right?
Yes, sir. The Coeur d'Alene Casino is going to donate $2,500 to go towards the efforts for all the people who are affected by the fires.
Wow, how about that, folks? $2,500. Very cool. Thank you so much. Why was it important for your organization to make that donation?
Well, it's important for the casino and for the tribe on many reasons. Like anytime that there's something in the community that we can help with, we really strive to. And then when it's a fire, we actually have some of our guests who are staying at the casino because they've been evacuated. And then just on a personal level, my parents' house burnt down a few years ago because of a fire. So anytime, it's extra sad and it's extra difficult, so we try to step in when we can.
It is a really difficult time. We have heard in the Gray Fire, 185 structures lost. In the Oregon Road Fire, the last count was 80-plus structures lost. So the need will be there for a long time. So this money will certainly go a long ways.
Yes, well, thanks for letting us help. We appreciate it.
You bet, appreciate it as well. If you folks can make a donation, it'd be certainly much appreciated. We've made it easy to do so. I got this team of volunteers behind me ready to take your call. Just call in at 1-844-411-8811 and make a donation if you can. Again, the money goes to our local chapter of the American Red Cross, so the money does stay here local. You can also text us the word HELP to 509-448-2000, and we'll send a link directly to your phone, and you can click on that link and make a donation online. We'll be here until 7 tonight, but for Whitney, send things back to you.